We are now making the diligent ant paper craft for the upper classes. So you will need a light paper, but you can also try with manila paper, but you need to know how to fix it, because as you can see, you may need staples. But in this one, the lighter paper, it will just work with glue. So if you're using manila paper, you may need to secure the, yes, it will get the glue, but we'll get there, but I just wanted you to have that in mind. So we are making the diligent ant paper craft for upper classes. So you will need 3 rolls. In this case, you are moving from the big, like the video has the measurements. For this, I just eyeballed it and made without any particular measurements, but you're making one bigger set, which is like the back or the abdomen of the ant, if we remember our science. Then you have a little part in the middle, which will be like the waist, and then you have something that is not as big as the back, but will be the head. So it is a little bit of deciding, okay, so which you can go with the measurements in the attached video that I had put when it comes from YouTube. But in this case, you basically have one big back, a tiny abdomen, and then a mid-size head. Okay, and then you will need your fillers or antennae. So you can have this in the same color or different color. So I have 2 pieces. This needs to be, you can either use the same material, but if it can be firmer like embossed paper, that would be best. This will come at the bottom of the craft. And then you will need your legs. Okay, so you need 6. We are looking at an ant, and if we are working with the right number of legs, it should be 6 of them. So let them be the same length. So you have 6 strips. Okay, then you have your glue stick, or your, in this case it will be glue stick. You have your scissors just in case, and you have your either a pencil, it will be a felt pen, or if you're able to, you can make the eyes like white pieces of paper, small circles of white paper, and then you can stick for the eyes. Okay, so I believe we can start. For now, just allow me because of this. So we now are sticking this particular rolls on the surface, and then we attach the legs, then we attach the fillers, and then we add the characteristics. So in this case, you are trying to have this so you glue the rolls. So for now, I'm starting with the head. It will come at the front. Okay, so you have that. You may attach them first and then place them on this, but in this case I'm just doing it because also of the length of the video. So, and then you now have the tiny waists. So you ensure you have the glue nicely, and then it goes to the center. What you can do is, just to be on the safe side, whatever they meet, you can add some glue so that they can attach to each other. So they can press it down. If you see that the strip of paper is a little bit too long, like in my case, you can trim it down, but we're not looking for perfection, it's just learning how to make this craft. And then now we have the back of the ant. And then we attach it and press it down just to ensure that it fits. So you can just see, like in this case I have to adjust. I don't know why it was not sticking. So that is expected. As I say, it's not about perfection, it's learning how to make the craft. So you ensure that it sticks. Okay, so you can leave, at least if it can be like this part of the craft that they can use to hold and move their ant. As I mentioned, you can put some glue in here so that they can stick together instead of being separate pieces. But you can make the adjustments as you go, and then obviously you just hold on to them. So you have that. Now we add character to the ant. In this case, we are having this particular strips. So fold, so you have strip, fold in half, and then you are adding, you just flip on opposite sides. You have that. Then you have your leg. So in this case, you are sticking one of the flaps and you stick it that way. Let's see. Yeah, we are trying out. Okay, so we have, let's see, how does it go? Allow me to experiment as you watch. Okay, so then we'll attach it so that when it okay, I get it now. So instead of at the bottom, you will be adding it within, like here, upper juice or upper chini. Okay, so that when it is seated or it's on the table, you have the ant that way. So let's work. As I said, it's a craft in progress. So you have 3 legs on one side, 3 legs on the other. Okay, we're not looking for perfection, we're looking for an experience and having fun. Forgot to fold it, but it's okay. So the children will decide where they want to stick theirs. So they may not all be perfect, but you have that. Okay. So I believe this should be farm paper. Let's work with, if you can get the embossed paper, I believe they will be firmer than this, which is your typical Manila paper. So that is a learning curve on the spot. I believe if you can use embossed paper, they'll be firmer or steady, they'll be steady than just having the Manila paper. So in this case, I can fix it in just a little bit, and there we go. So we are basically folding the strips, and then we are gluing one part. And then we have, okay, definitely this is thinner, but for now it will have to do. So if the strips can be similar or like the same size, it's okay. If they are not, just the same way we are unique in our different ways, why not have unique ants? So there we have it. With the legs, at least it looks something close to that. But as I said, I believe this will be firmer with embossed paper. And then we have our fillers. So we don't stick it at the back, we stick it to the front. So you will fold your fillers or the antennae, antenna, potato. So you're sticking in whatever particular way. And then you can also add the characteristic fold. If you watch the cartoons of the ants went marching in one by one, there's definitely, the ants are always having their feelers bent. Why, I don't know, but there's that. And then, as I said, you can draw in the characteristic. So they can have the eyes. In this case, I'm just doing my level best. So if they can stick the eyes like white paper and then they put a black dot, or they can draw, so you have your ant that is smiling, and then you have this back paper at least helps them to move their ant or to lift it. So I believe you get to understand this little ant, okay? So I believe this should be, but still this works, but if it can be farmer, it will be okay. And then now they have their ant. So memory verse, their name, something like, always ensure they have written their name somewhere, even with pencil, so that they don't start saying that someone else's craft is theirs. So I believe that is our ant for upper classes. And upper classes can now diversify, they can add their own details. Okay, so thank you, see you in the next draft.